Hi. Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new limited edition 2016 Adidas 99 gram adizero, also known as the X16 99 grams. The name is more or less all over the place in all the press releases that I've seen. Nonetheless, here is the box that it comes in. You can see it says limited collection, all white. It's a drawer style box. I'll give you guys a quick look at the label. So the label on the box officially calls these 99 grams, which I guess isn't technically a name, but that's what it says on the box. Size 9 US, being that this is the only size that they produce these in. Pull the drawer open, and on the inside you do get a couple of extras to go along with the shoes. The first is this little tag. It's a little tag you can technically hang on the shoe, although I wouldn't recommend wearing them with the tag. Nonetheless, you can see it says 99 grams, August 2016 being the month that they came out. Limited collection, and then you can see you have number 31 of 299. I have pair number 31 of 299 total pairs, which is all they made of this particular shoe. And then on the back of the tag, it has, of course, the Adidas logo. Other than that, they do include a little boot bag here, all white in color. It has some strings at the top so you can seal the top of the bag. And then it has a little tag hanging off the side, again, with the Adidas branding. Other than those, extras, of course, you get the shoes themselves, which I have right here. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly, and we'll take a closer look at what essentially is a rebranded re-release of the 2015 99 gram adizero, which I happen to have right here, and something we're going to be comparing to the new 2016 release in today's video. So what we're going to go over is take a look at all the different tech specs, how Adidas was able to achieve a 99 gram boot. We're going to confirm that these do actually weigh 99 grams. We're going to take a look at how they fit and feel on feet, and essentially cover everything you need to know about this particular shoe. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire video. If you are interested in getting a pair of these for yourself, it was a limited edition release. Again, only 299 pairs, every single pair in a size 9 US. It's the only size they produce these in, and they sold out the day of their release. So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to buy these in store anymore for the $300 retail price that they went for. But if you are interested in the pair still, you can try your luck on eBay in the secondhand market, but expect to pay resale prices, which are going to be above $300. But nonetheless, with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's take a look at the actual weight of the 99 gram adizero, since that's the reason these shoes exist in the first place. They're supposed to be 99 grams. So I'm going to weigh them for you today in real time using this scale, and just to make sure that everything's legit, I'm going to turn the scale on in real time as well. So you can see it's kind of booting up here, zeroing itself out. Eventually it will say 0 grams. There it goes. So we're going to take the right shoe, put it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at, my scale shows 98 grams. Is this the most precise scale in the world? Probably not. It's a variation of 1 gram. It's technically showing that it's 1 gram lighter than 99 grams, which not an excessive amount of weight by any means, but you can see that they are in fact 99 grams, which is very impressive. The shoes are extremely lightweight. With that being said, this is still a limited edition release. It's still a release from Adidas that is only available in a size 9 US. So whether or not that implies that this particular design was only built for this particular scale, meaning the actual size and shape of the shoe, and if you made it any bigger or smaller, the design wouldn't work, I really can't tell you. But again, at this point, I think that this is more of a concept shoe as opposed to something that is at any point going to be mass produced and made available to pretty much anybody who wants a pair, similar to the Evo Speed SL line from Puma, be it the SL1 or the SL2, because this is a very, very similar concept. Another thing to note about these is, yes, as light as they are, just like the Evo Speed SL, which does come with that warning sticker, these would last just about as long. It's not going to be a durable shoe. You really can't make a shoe as light as these and make them durable. And again, it's kind of more of a cool, I don't want to say gimmicky, but it's kind of an attention grabber. It's something that they produced to kind of prove that they could do it, but not necessarily prove it to the point where this is ever going to be a viable thing. It's possible that down the line, 99 gram shoes will be a regular thing, but as of right now, like I said, this is a limited edition release, a re-release at that. just to kind of get some hype around the brand in general and to have a new limited edition release. But again, they're impressively lightweight. There isn't too much to say about that. And for those that are curious, I'll change the units on the scale to ounces. So 98 grams is the equivalent of 3.45 ounces, which again, super lightweight, but I think you already knew that. Next, let's talk tech specs and see how Adidas was able to achieve such a lightweight construction. Spoiler alert, they made everything as thin as possible. This is a very similar recipe to that of the EvoSpeed SL and EvoSpeed SL2. Sorry to compare it to that shoe so much, but that is basically the mass production variation of this shoe, if you want to be kind of have the closest comparison, I guess. So if you did not get the 99 gram adizero, but you still want something that's going to offer a similar experience to this shoe, I would definitely take a look at the EvoSpeeds, but those have proven to not be the most popular thing in the world because of their durability. And again, I would expect something very similar out of this particular shoe, given how similar it is to that EvoSpeed SL. So this is of course the 2016 variation, and then this is right here the 2015 variation, the original 99 gram adizero. And at a quick glance, obviously they are very similar. The branding is a little bit different. This has the 3 stripes. This instead has just the standard Adidas logo. The logo on the tongue on the 2016 model is upside down, so when you're wearing the shoes and you look down at your feet, you read the Adidas logo right side up. This is obviously the more kind of standard positioning. The sole plate obviously is solid white on this shoe, and then on this shoe has the kind of chrome effect to it, where it's chrome at the heel and then fades to like a red-orange color. And it does come with basically this warning sticker letting you know that the chrome coating will wear off over time, but obviously isn't going to affect the performance. Likely these shoes won't last long enough for that chrome coating to wear off, should you choose to wear them. And then the branding on the heel, both of them are numbered, but it's done a little bit differently. But again, side by side, they are exactly the same. The one thing that you'll immediately notice is that obviously it is a textile upper. You can see right through it. It's completely translucent, but there is an internal kind of skeleton support structure. On the 2015 variation, it looks like there's more structure because there are 2 different colors. Part of it is gray and part of it is white. Whereas on this shoe, you can see you don't see all the same structures here in the forefoot area. They're still there. It's just that they chose to go white on white as opposed to gray on white. So you don't necessarily see the structure the same way that you do on the 2015 model. But again, identical shoe in every single way aside from the colors and some of the branding. So they haven't changed anything. Like I said, this is basically just a re-release. If you guys do want to see my original video of the 2015 model, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, just kind of a by the way. But nonetheless, this is the shoe. And basically what they've done here to make this shoe so lightweight, with the upper at least, is they've made a single layer mesh-based PU upper. So polyurethane material, which is just a thin layer of plastic with a mesh base, which is a very simple kind of crisscross pattern that you can see when you get up close. And then internally to support that, you do have your skeleton inner supports, which run this way. And then there's an extra layer in the forefoot and toe box area with some perforations just to create some kind of structure. You can see you have somewhat of a chevron pattern going through the actual tongue area. And there's structure in kind of the high stress zones, more structure around the actual lace holes, more structure around the edges here. You can see they've added a little bit of a padded insert, which you can see in the darker color, a little bit of padding back here. But like I said, everything is super thin to the point where the shoe is basically translucent. How does this feel when you actually wear them? It's not uncomfortable. They're super thin. It's the equivalent of basically not wearing any shoes at all. The biggest thing you're going to notice with this shoe is not so much the upper as much as you're going to notice the sole plate, because it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, and we'll get to that in just a second. But again, if you're looking for the thinnest, most minimal shoe possible, this is kind of what this is going to provide. You can see even the laces, they do run centrally, but they're super thin. They're the skinniest, smallest little laces that you're ever gonna see. And again, every single gram counts when you're trying to make a 99 gram shoe. Internally, you do have synthetic suede material lining the very back of the shoe, as well as the side edges here along the ankle area, which is actually a surprising inclusion. You think they would go for something a little bit more, I guess, lightweight, but this does the job for whatever reason. You can see they put the size tag at the very back of the heel, which is kind of an interesting place. But it works, I guess. Nothing really to complain about there. The texturing on the surface of the upper, it does have texture to it just because the polyurethane layer is so thin that you still feel the texturing of that mesh base layer. But that's actually kind of a cool thing and not necessarily something that you're really going to notice when it comes to the performance of the shoe. The insole is fully removable. This one says speed of light with the Adidas branding. And then this one has 299792458 ms, which ms I believe stands for milliseconds. I looked at all the Adidas press releases. There's nothing that explains what this is supposed to mean, so I unfortunately don't have an answer for you. If you do have an answer or at least have any guesses on what this means, leave it down below in the comment section. I'd be curious to hear what you guys have to say, but like I said, I could not find anything that would tell me what this actually means here on the left insole. But the insole nonetheless features a mesh liner on top, and it's just super thin layer of foam, perforations throughout. Nothing fancy at all, but again, the idea here is to be as thin, as minimal, and as lightweight as possible. And this does get the job done given what this shoe is set out to do, which is to be as light as possible. Now, what this insole covers up is something that's a little bit interesting. Now, the actual sole plate, which does feature an external heel counter, which it kind of needs to have it there just for the sake of structure. If it wasn't there, the heel would be super flimsy. So that's why you have these two little raised areas, and then it's kind of cut out at the back to shave a little bit of weight. The sole plate is made from a 1 millimeter thin polyamide material, which is basically just a special fancy plastic that is particularly strong, which is why it's able to be so thin. And they add some structure to it in the form of these kind of little stiffener raised areas where it's not thicker, it just kind of dips in. And then of course this does have the My Coach slot, which I think they included for the sake of structure, not because I think they thought people were going to use My Coach with this particular shoe. It just adds some structure to the midfoot because of this kind of bar design that it would have to have for the My Coach little thing to actually fit inside of the shoe. But no one really used My Coach. It never really caught on. And again, it's been dead for a little while now. This is just a recycled design. So that's the only reason why we're seeing it again here on this 2016 limited edition release. Remove the insole, and internally, the shoe is a little bit sketchy, honestly. It's not a completely flat sole plate, which is different from the EvoSpeed SL. That is more comfortable underfoot, just in terms of the sole plate being more flat. But as you guys can see, the sole plate, it's 1 millimeter thin all the way throughout. So any shape that you see on the bottom is mirrored on the inside of the shoe. So when you step in these, you feel the little dips in the heel. You feel the little dips in the forefoot because all of the studs are lowered into the shoe. It's not a completely flat sole plate. So like I said, there's a dimension to the bottom of the shoe. I guess kind of like what you get from the current Mercurial Superfly 5, but not for the same reasons. This is there to shave as much weight as possible and not necessarily to cup your foot in any way. So that aspect is a little bit uncomfortable, but again, they're made to be as thin and as light as possible, so comfort isn't really the main goal here. As far as the stud pattern is concerned, this is pretty much the adizero stud pattern to a certain extent. The studs themselves are a little bit shorter and a little bit smaller in size. If you guys remember the F50 Adizero Crazy Lights, this is kind of the same stud pattern that you see here in the forefoot. They have a little toe pick at the front as well. And then in the heel, it's got a 3 stud pattern layout, which is kind of exclusive to this particular shoe. And again, the only reason why there's 3 studs is to shave as much weight as possible. And again, you see a similar system on the EvoSpeed SL, which is a similar shoe in terms of weight. How does the stud pattern actually work? It is made exclusively for firm natural grass, and it's not the greatest thing in the world. The studs are a little bit too small, they're a little bit too short. And if you're talking about just aggressive traction, again, comparing it to the other shoe the only other shoe I can compare to these, the EvoSpeed SL has a much more usable stud pattern. It's much more aggressive and I think far superior performance-wise in comparison to this 99-gram Adizero concept boot, if you will. So that's pretty much it in terms of tech specs and what this shoe has on offer. Like I said, I think this is more of a proof of concept as opposed to a shoe that Adidas is releasing with the intention of actually being kind of a top-end performing shoe. Yes, it's going to provide that lightweight feel, but from a performance and durability standpoint, it really isn't all there. All right, so here is a look at the 99 gram Adizeros on feet. On my left foot, I have the stock white laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of Orange Punch reflective SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. If you're interested, there'll be a little pop-up on screen and a link in the description that'll take you directly there. So be sure to go ahead and check it out. Now, in terms of how these things fit and feel on feet, I guess the best way to describe these is that they feel like the bare minimum of a soccer shoe. It's like the shell of a shoe without the rest of it, if that makes any sense. Basically what you have here is a super thin upper with next to no rigidity to it. Again, very reminiscent of what you're gonna find from the Evo Speed SL. The sole plate though, because it isn't flat, it has all those little kind of cutouts and embossed areas beneath your foot and what is a very thin insole. You feel all that, and it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. These are, if you are going to be wear them, really best used on a really nice natural grass field. If the ground is hard at all, you're gonna find that these aren't gonna hold up very well, and they're gonna be pretty uncomfortable for you after about 10 minutes or so. They're not uncomfortable shoes, but they're not particularly luxuriously comfortable either, but I think that's to be expected when the shoe is as thin and as light as they are. As far as break-in is concerned, there isn't really anything to break in. They're super flexible just because of how thin all the materials are. So there's nothing that, like I said, I think feels like it needs some wear time to feel proper on your foot, if that makes any sense. But they fit okay. The shape is not necessarily narrow. It's got a tighter fit overall, as you would expect. Because of the material being a little bit plasticky, it kind of flares out at the sides of the ankle or the sides of the heel, as you can see. There's not really anything that you can do about that. It's just going to happen. A little bit crinkly through the midfoot as well, but they feel and fit okay. There's not too much to complain about in that regard. As far as width is concerned, like I said, it's a tighter fitting shoe. I think they will fit most people, but again, this is more of a concept shoe as opposed to something that I think a lot of people are going to buy to wear. There's only 299 pairs at the end of the day. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US. They run true to size, the fit is perfect, but they only make them in a size 9 US. So if you aren't that size, you're kind of out of luck. But if you were wondering, they do run true to size. So if you are a 9, these fit like a 9. All right, guys, that is it for my review of the 2016 99 gram Adizero. If you guys are looking for more info, you can check out the review page on my website. You won't find buy it now links because these are sold out, but you will find high quality images of this exact pair that I took myself that'll give you a better idea as to how they look in person. So be sure to go ahead and check that out if you are at all interested. If you guys have any questions at all regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, thanks for watching.